We going live up in this thing, baby. We live on a Tuesday night. So tonight we're gonna be talking about what y'all feed y'all dogs. So let me go ahead on and check real quick, see how the signal doing. You know what I'm saying? Make sure we the signal is good. How are y'all doing tonight, man? I hope everybody doing good. Hope everybody doing good. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure we live and we lit. Make sure we live. All right, there we go. We lit. All right, so tonight, man, we're gonna be talking about what we feed our dogs. So I let everybody know we was going live and what we was gonna be talking about. So I got a lot of critics. It's a lot of people that think they know how to feed dogs. Because I know this because they be on my channel always commenting, don't feed them this, don't feed them that. So tonight was the night where if you had something to say about what I feed my dogs, get on here and say what you got to say or forever hold your peace. But it seems like we ain't got nobody in here that got anything to say. So without further ado, we're gonna get into it. So what you feed your dogs? It was a question I wanted to ask everybody. So I guess if you watch this video later on down the line, you can go ahead and tell me what you feed. You know what I'm saying? We feed a mixture of raw food and dog food. When you feeding raw food, not all raw food. Okay, you person might say they personally mix Victor with Diamond. Why do you mix Victor with Diamond? I mean, may I ask? Victor and Diamond. Which Diamond do you use? Diamond Puppy or Diamond High Energy? But over here, we also have some Diamond Puppy and some Diamond High Energy. I find that the Diamond High Energy definitely is giving them a lot of poo. Diamond Original. Okay, I'm not quite sure which one that is. But we personally feed Diamond Puppy and Diamond High Energy. The Diamond High Energy is really nasty to clean up right now. And the Diamond Puppy, the red bag, okay. I'm not sure. I gotta check that out. Let me check it out on my phone real quick. Diamond Original. Let me see. Do I know what this is? Diamond Original. Oh, okay. I've never seen this before. Maybe I have. I just looked right by it. So let me see. What is the Diamond Original? Where you located at? Where you buying this Diamond Original at? So it's 24% protein, 12% fat, and it's about, let's see. That's the Diamond Original. Iowa. Okay. Yeah, it's 20% protein, 20%. I mean, it's 24% protein, 12% fat, and I can't really see the calories. It's not really saying. But hold on, I can definitely get the calories. I'm trying to think how many calories is in this food, but I cannot get it. Sorry if I'm taking too long, y'all. We got one person on here, so I'm trying to look up this Diamond Original to see how many calories is in it. And it's just not showing up. But it does say for a 100-pound dog, feed 5.5 cups of food a day. That's a lot of food, a lot of cups of food. So back to what I want to say. We feed a mixture of raw and dog food. So when we're feeding the mixture, we're going to give about a half a bowl of dog food and about 3 to 4 pieces of chicken, sometimes 2 pieces of chicken. Our dogs range anywhere in size from 80 to 100 and about 10 pounds. 80 to 110 pounds. That's how much our dogs range in weight. We work our dogs out every day. Okay. Somebody said came to show love from London Kennel. London Kennel in the house, guys. We're gonna look you up on Instagram, yo. Or and it says Victor sticks to my dogs the most. You know how dogs to certain foods can't hold the weight. So I found mixing them both better. They keep the weight on them. You know me, Caesar D from Iowa. London Kennels. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you like this. We used to feed nothing but exclusively Victor. It was the thing, If you ain't feeding your dogs Victor, basically you ain't feeding your dogs nothing. You cheap, you broke, you poor. So we was feeding the Victor. Then Victor had a recall. After that recall, the Victor wasn't the same recipe anymore. Some of the dog food was different colors. Some bags was full of grease. Some dog food was light. Some was black. And then I'm not 100% sure if they just switched the recipe or if when there was no Victor for a while, the dogs just their stomachs couldn't adjust back to it. So it's like, why spend $60 on a bag of dog food if it's just going to mess their stomachs up? And that's why we just stopped the Victor. I'm not saying that Victor's a bad dog food because it's probably different in different places, but Victor's like $60 a bag out here. That's too expensive. I could probably go through 2 to 3 bags a week. And let's just say I go through 2 packs of Victor a week. Really, it's like $65 almost. It's like 56 and change. So like $62, $63. And I'm going through 2 bags at a time. And then you don't know when you go to the store, they're not going to have it. So it's like, why even do it? For me, not like talking back. It's not like I'm talking about, but I was really on that Victor hard, but they just got way too crazy with the price. And then you couldn't find it. And then the recipe wasn't consistent. So I just said, man, let's just try the cheaper stuff. So right now, the best food that my dog's stomachs like the most is the Sports Mix 2420. I believe that's the one. So it's really high in fat and low in the protein. But we still got to constantly mix in different diamonds because they always running out. They're always running out of every dog food. So we just decided today that we're going to go like almost 100% raw. But we can't go completely 100% raw because we got a Cane Corso that was 6 months old. That when we got it was almost 6 months old. It will not eat its food without dog food in the bowl. So if you put anything in the bowl, it's going to look at it. And if there's no dog food in it, it's not going to touch it. But it doesn't eat raw meat. So my Mufasa, our Cane Corso, he's like, I'm saying like 75 pounds almost, 7 months. Big boy, man. Big boy. I'm not sure how much he actually weighs. He could be 80 pounds, but I'm just going to say, let's say he's 80 pounds, 7 months. He could be more. I doubt if he's bigger than 80 pounds, but he's tall and he's kind of linky right now, going through a little linky stage. And he's big. He's a big dog, big boy, but he won't eat without the dog food. So we're never going to go 100% raw. And I'm going to tell you why, reasons why. It's funny because I got this whole spreadsheet that my wife made for me, but I'm going to be skipping all over the place. It's a few reasons why you would never want to go completely raw. One is the dog's the dog, I can't say that, the dog safety, or the dog safety net, or reasons for the dog's well-being. If you ever die, or if you ever lose your home, or if the dog has to ever be taken somewhere else, put somewhere else, and he's never eaten dog food. Now he's going to be in a shelter, or maybe someone has to take him or whatever, and that dog is going to be given dog food, and he may not eat it. He may not never eat the dog food and literally starve, or he may eat the dog food and stomach get infested, and just have diarrhea or die. So you always want to get at dog food in case you gotta go put your dog in a boarding home so you can go on vacation, or you can, if you have a person come over and take care of the dog while you're gone. Maybe you get sick. Maybe you gotta rehome the dog because you're moving in another direction. Without eating dog food, that dog will never be able to be out of your care. So you put that dog at a serious disadvantage. Then also, maybe there's a situation where meat prices go really high and you can't afford to feed the dog the meat, or the meat that you normally get is not available, or whatever the case may be. You can't get a dog food, so that'll put you at a disadvantage. Next other reason why you want to give your dog food is when your dog is nursing or young puppies. When you have young puppies, they have certain nutritional needs, and giving them at least a little bit of puppy food is very beneficial for them, for their growth and their development, for their brain and their eyes. At least a little bit of puppy food. And also, when mothers are nursing, puppies, they definitely need like high quality dog foods that's safe for nursing moms and dogs. You definitely can use Victor for a nursing dog. The number one dog food I would say is Diamond Puppy for nursing dogs. And it's this one puppy food, man, that I'm trying to get my hands on, man. Value Pack 30/24, something crazy, 30/20. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get my hands on that Value Pack 30/20 because that one actually has the joint supplements. Right. My man says, Remel says, London Kennel, he said, yeah, I use Diamond Puppy food when nursing. Yeah, you got to use a puppy food when nursing. You can try to mix it up and do your own thing, but I've seen some seriously things go wrong when doing raw, and then you got puppies and you don't give that mother puppy food, or I've seen it to where the dogs can't produce milk, or their milk will cut back fast. So you definitely want to use that when you have nursing puppies, but to each his own. I'm not advocating for dog food. This is about raw feeding, because that's what we do here. Raw feeding is not necessarily just giving your dog raw chicken. Some people feel very uncomfortable with giving your dog raw chicken. One thing you can do is you can make a soup out of these chickens. You can boil them in a big pot with different ingredients, chicken, and you can rice and barley, and you can put different ingredients and make a big soup. Soups are one of the number one things that were feeding dogs back in the days. They get a pot and they was boiling stuff. Drew Rico, what's up, boy? That's my man right there, Bully Camp, Rico Bully Camp. Yeah, they was boiling pots of stuff, man. They might have greens, turnips, carrots, one piece of meat, maybe a little milk. They was boiling things. A lot of just pots of boiled stuff, and you boil it the best you can. You dump it down, and the dog was eating that. So with that being said, that was considered a raw diet for the time, because they couldn't just give one dog one piece of meat. You got a bunch of dogs, so you want to boil this stuff down and make as much as you can and make it warm and nourishing so they can fill the dogs up and all the dogs can eat, you know what I mean, and warm them up for the night. You might feed them right before night so they can stay warm all night long. and you can stretch out whatever you have and also break down any plant matters or plant matters and grains that you had, laying around so the dog can eat that. With that being said, raw feeding doesn't mean you have to necessarily you don't have to necessarily feed meat, or you don't necessarily have to feed raw foods. You can cook these foods. With the bone, it gets a little tricky because some of you guys' dogs are not going to be able to take the bone. I've never had any issues with any bones ever. Now, that's not to say that you won't. So if you've never given your dog bones, cooked bones, raw bones, hard bones, sharp bones, don't do it. Because you're probably going to have a problem. What you can do is take those bones and sit them in a crock pot and let them break down, you know what I mean, until they're soft. And then, give them a few here and there. Me personally, we just throw the bones out there, man. My neighbors might throw them a chicken. They eat chicken carcasses, raw bones, cooked bones. Sometimes what I do, though, if I see a bone that's really sharp and it looks sharp, I won't give it to them. Now, if they eat the bone and it turns sharp, I feed my dogs bones. I have a lot of dogs, so I got to make it happen. They're going to eat that bone, they eat that bone. I've never had an issue with a dog in the bone, but you probably will, because it's just all about how the dogs is raised. If you have a dog that lives outside, you bring him in the house, he's going to be hot. You have a dog that lives inside, you put him outside in the heat, he going to bake or he going to freeze. So, it's all about like how you raise the dog. But basically what I'm saying is raw food can be either cooked food, or it can also be cooked grains or raw grains, depending on how you really want to give it, feed the dog. I was reading today, the AKC says it's recommended to give a dog about a tablespoon of carbohydrates or grains per 20 pounds of weight. So if a dog is 100 pounds, 5 tablespoons of carbohydrates. What I'm learning now is I've been giving the dogs way too much carbs in their food. So I'm going to definitely not even try to do half and half when it comes to the carbs. I'm going to try to do no more than 25% carbs, and then the other 75% or other 60% meats and maybe some berries and maybe some veggies. So next, let's try to get to this list, man, because I know I'm jumping all over the place. But the gist of it is raw food is just basically giving your dog human grade food. Now, some people may say differently, but this is what I believe. Human grade, which means it ain't processed in a bag. It's something that you could eat as a human, and you're preparing it for a dog however you see fit. All right. Why do I use dog food? I think I've already been touching on this a lot. But why we use dog food is I'm guilty, guys. Yes, I am guilty. When the dog give me the little face, I give them some damn food. I give them a bowl of food. I think they're hungry. And then it's me and my wife. So I don't know if she fed them. She don't know if I fed them. So if I see the dog in the cage looking like this, I'm going to slide him a bowl of food. And, I feel like he's hungry. I don't know. That's just me. That's how I roll. It's bad. It's not good. And I got to get away from this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm becoming too attached to these dogs. But when they act like they're hungry, I just slide them a bowl of that kibble. And another thing is, it's like no matter how much meat I give these dogs, they always want some more food, man. So I could give them 4 pieces of chicken, 5 pieces of chicken, sometimes 6 pieces of chicken. And these ain't no little drumsticks. I'm talking about the big steroid drumsticks that's probably about a pound a piece, or at least 10 to 12 ounce steroid chicken drums. I give them 5 to 6 of those, man, and they still want some food. So I give it to them. And like I said before, the AKC recommends 1 tablespoon of grain per 20 pounds of dog. So dogs do need the grain. The easiest way to give a dog grain is to use the dog food, but the grain in the dog food is a lower quality. As a matter of fact, you don't even know what the grade of that food is or if it's any good or use at all, but we still give it to the damn dogs because it's convenient. You just grab it, give it to them. I always mix water with it. But next, let's just go to it like this. Why do I feed dog food? That's mainly one of the reasons. And also, when people feed raw, they got to constantly add 1,001 supplements to the food. I don't have the time nor the patience, and I don't necessarily have a bunch of vitamins that I'm going to be adding to this food. So the dog food has all the vitamins and it's all the way balanced. You know, you just got to feed a lot of it to them and it creates a big mess. But having some of that dog food around to add to that raw, like I said, I'm not advocating this diet that mixing it's my diet over the raw or over just straight kibble. But what I'm saying is having that dog food, I have all my nutrients, vitamins, you know what I'm saying? And I have a extra boost of omega-3s, fibers, and all that right then and there. I don't have to go reaching for this supplement, that supplement, this supplement, that supplement. One supplement I do use is hip and joint pills. And those hip and joint pills actually have a few vitamins in them. I'm not sure how many or the percentage, but they do have a nice amount of different vitamins in them. And one thing I can say is giving the dog vitamins is good. I've done that before. I bought the little fake Bully Max vitamins because you got the Bully Max version of vitamins, and then you got like the Walmart version. So the Bully Max is like $50 to $180 a bottle to $100 a bottle. The Walmart version is like $5. I've used those Walmart vitamins and I've had great results, like as far as fur and health for the dogs. But like I say, when you have too many supplements and too much stuff you adding, you know, you got a bowl, you got to add this. It just adds more time into what you're doing. And if you run in a kennel or you got multiple dogs, you don't necessarily have the time to just keep adding all these things. And then also buying them, it costs a lot of money. So that's why I just use the dog food. And then another cheat code I use is like muscle milk and, you know, the powders, you know, the wheat powder, muscle milk. I use that now sometimes. And I also use just powdered milk that has like vitamin D. But I also use, like I said, I got off track. I was using the damn, what the hell are some things called again? Those hip and joint vitamins. I made plenty of videos about them showing exactly which ones I use, but those hip and joint vitamins actually, some of the dogs don't like to eat them. That's what I was trying to say. Both of the Cane Corsos will not eat them unless you put them in their food. So I can throw them in their cage. But see, so now you see the problem I have. In order to get the Corsos to eat the hip and joint pills, I got to take them and put them in a bowl of food with water. Now, say I forget that they ain't take their medicine. But there's also a dog food out there, like I was saying. What the hell is it called? Value Pack 30, 20, 30. It has hip and joint supplement in it, but I can't get it, man. But I'm gonna try to get that one, man. I'm trying to get my hands on that, man. It's high protein, which is not probably the greatest thing in the world. But it has that hip and joint. So if I could buy that, then I don't have to buy the hip and joint supplements, which are $15 a week. So if you could just take the price of a bag of dog food and that $15, $16 that I'm paying for these hip and joint pills and just add that onto the bag of food, now I don't have to buy it. See what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother different topic. All right. Yeah. But yes, if you're feeding raw foods, you must mix in vitamins because that raw food, it's just like raw the way it sounds, just raw chicken. It's not gonna have any not a lot of nutrients in it and not a lot of vitamins. It's not balanced. So you're going to have deficiencies. So what you're going to have is dogs that can't go in the heat properly, dogs that can't conceive properly, males that can't get females pregnant properly, and females that cannot produce milk. So when you feed raw, you better know what you're doing. And there's only one person I've seen that really knows the game, and that's Fit Bully TV. But I mean, come on, man. You're going to feed your dog mackerels and 5-pound things of ground beef every day. Okay. Not everybody can do that. So, but it's another dog food. You got the farmer's dog. That dog food is out the farmer's dog. It's an all raw blend. And then you also have this Presa Canary breeder got this dog food called Raw or something raw or whatever his name is, whatever. But it's a lot of companies out there that feed raw dog food already mixed up and ready to go. I've never used those before, although if I was a millionaire, I'd probably buy those. You know what I mean? Hey, I'd probably be wasting my millions, but I'd probably just be ordering from everybody, you know, just cut one open, give it to the dogs. It's convenience, you know. It comes right to your door. You don't have to go get it. And I believe that the prices on that might be comparable. So let's really get into some more of this stuff that I have on this list that my wife made me make. Why raw diet is not 100% cut back on pups on poop. Okay. If you feed raw, you will notice that you have basically almost no poo to clean up. You'll basically come out to your yard and look around. There won't be nothing out there. Or the size of the poo will be like, if you feed 100%, the poo is going to be like 10%. Because most of that raw is meat is water. So the dog's going to absorb that water straight out of there. And it's going to absorb all the nutrients and break it down. It's way less waste with raw. Way less waste. And that's why I'm about to really start making my own dog food. I'm going to just have the chicken separate. And I'm just going to make the other blend of whatever it is on the side. Because, man, that poo, it's almost as if whatever you feed the dog, you're going to be cleaning it all up. So the dogs are really not getting a good, you know, nutrients from this dog food, man. It's really not good for them. It causes something called bloat, which blows the guts of the stomach of the dog up. And it also probably has lots of chemicals in it that's probably leading a lot of y'all dogs to have different kind of cancers and different kind of illnesses later on in life. I believe your body's always trying to like fight off cancers and tumors. But eating that dog food is making your dog sick. One thing I can say for sure, like, if you give a dog high quality dog food, when you take that dog to the field, that dog is going to run a 5-6 laps in a circle around the field. Some of your dogs are too fat and obese. Y'all dogs don't run. You probably got some champion bred dogs that don't run. I got some dogs with champion in their bloodline, but my dogs are not like overdone. Not saying we would never produce overdone dogs. We just got healthy dogs. But what I say is, if you take the one dog and let's say I feed them like this high energy dog food or this to that cheap dog food and take him to the field, he might do 2-3 laps. But let's say I take the same dog and feed him Blue Buffalo or even Victor when I was using the Victor. I don't know how Victor is now. I'm not an advocate for any of these foods. But let's say I feed the dog Blue Buffalo or whatever. These dogs are just going to run 5, 6 to 10 laps. So 3 laps on cheap dog food, 6 to 10 laps on our high qualities. When I say a lap, I mean a football field. Who won football field? 2 football fields, 3 football fields. Or just imagine somebody running around a home base 3 times, or somebody running around home base 6 to 10 times. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to crisscross that field at least 6 to 10 times before they gas out. So what I notice with my dogs when I feed them raw, I mean, I feed a combination. So my dogs are always ready to run those 6 to 10 laps because I'm, the dog food I feed is garbage. Basically, it's high in fat. That's the only thing I can say. It's high in fat and it's high in calories. And another thing I'll say about this dog food, it definitely has them like antsy, like, it's like giving them junk food. When you give them the dog food, it's definitely like giving them junk food. They're just antsy, uncontrollable, hyperactive. But when you give them that chicken or just that raw feed, the dogs are balanced. They have energy, but they're controllable. You can talk to them and reach them. But when they're on that cheap kibble, it got them just too hyperactive. So we're definitely going to start making our own dog food, guys. We're going to start making our own dog food. I'm thinking about getting a grinder and grinding up the chicken. Although I don't need to do that, it just seems like if I could grind that chicken up, I could make a hell of a meal out of it. But I don't know. Because I can still feed my dogs just straight up pieces of chicken. And then I'll make the other part of it will be the mush, which will be potatoes, rice, beef, and pork. I'm going to make a lot of this. I'm going to make sure I don't give them too much carbs, not too much carbs. Some of the good carbs that we use are sweet potatoes. I'm about to start adding carrots into that. We haven't had any sweet potatoes recently. But normally we use a lot of sweet potatoes. Sometimes I use cornmeal. But recently I just been buying these turkeys. I didn't want to go to the spot where I get the chicken in the boxes from, as I don't want to send my wife all the way over there and make her go get them. And, it's a lot of work, man. It's easy for me to just tell her to go get it, but I don't want to have her going out our way and getting those boxes of chicken. But we've been suffering because we were just using the dog food. So it's really been hurting us because I got to keep cleaning up this crap, man. And it don't even look good. It's not solid. So we got to get back to our raw feed diet, man. And we actually going to get back to it. And then we're going to actually take it higher than we ever did it before. And what I was going to say something else about Salud. What time is it? 8:30. Man, it's 8:30. It's 8:32. It's time to be on this live. You know what I'm saying? Y'all watch Why Wait Kennels on the line, baby. All my kennel people out there, man. What you feed your dogs? Why Wait Kennel? What you feed them joints? So, dog food is like going to a fast food restaurant. Tastes good going down after you eat it. You know what I'm saying? The dog's just like, why did I eat this? Why did I eat this? Yeah. Okay. I think I done went through everything except for the cost. All right. So we're gonna go through the cost of feeding raw versus the cost of feeding a regular dog. Now, I can't tell you how much it costs to feed a regular dog, but I'm gonna assume you go through lay quarters and puppy chow. Okay. So my man feeds the chicken along like me with the low cost dog food. And I see a lot of people using the dog chow and the puppy chow out there. But here's the challenge I'm giving to myself and you guys, right? This is the challenge I'm gonna give y'all and myself. Because I'm guilty of this shit. Because the dog food I'm using is trash too. It's trash. I'm gonna keep a bag around. But why are we jazzing up this dog food? Just think about it for a second. We are jazzing up this crappy dog food, guys. And I mean, it's looking good. It's like jazzing up some noodles. I don't care how you jazz up them noodles. It's still noodles. You know what I'm saying? You can put cheese in them noodles. You can put shrimp in them. onions, it's still noodles. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's not a real meal just because of the noodles. Like sometimes the jazzed up noodles, you know what I mean? You be, yeah, I'm gonna jazz these noodles up. We good tonight. But that's exactly what we doing when we jazz up these cheap ass kibbles, man. We jazzing up noodles. What we trying to do is fill them up with garbage and at the same time give them something healthy so that, you know, it balances out. But my challenge is I'm going to try to just fill them up with proper good food and maybe, you know, 1 cup of dog food ain't bad. 1 cup, 8 ounces is more, you know, it's better to use that than what I'm doing right now, which is a quarter bowl. And I'm guilty. If they want more, I'll probably give them all the raw food they want and slide them another bowl. Guilty as charged. But this one guy I've been watching hard, the Foundation Raw or whatever his name is. This big dude, he's always with Fit Bully TV. Diesel, short dude, shit, just Diesel, and he talk like this. Basically, okay, he said, is feeding a dog 2 times a day good? It depends. If it's dog food, yes, it's good to feed the dog twice a day, and because the dog still be hungry because of what we feeding them. But more than likely, what I'm gonna get to is and it also depends on the size of the dog, how much you working the dog, and what kind of dog it is. When it look like you got I don't know what the hell that is. Look like a pit bull or something. Man, we're guilty of feeding the dogs twice a day. We feed in the morning and then we feed at night. But the truth is this. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of these kennels and I'm watching a lot of people. If you feed a high quality raw dog food meal, you only need to feed them once a day. Once a day. But I'm not sure how big your dog is and what you do with your dog. But just like us humans, me personally, I just keep eating and eating and eating and eating and eating. Every time I get hungry, eat. Sometimes you need to let that stomach clear out, you know. If you train that dog to eat once a day, it'll do it. You can do it. It's all about how much calorie intake that dog needs. You know, we feed the dogs twice a day here because we have bullies and we have big dogs. So our dogs are supposed to be really muscular, you know what I'm saying? And thick bones and big exaggerated heads. So feeding these dogs once a day is really kind of hard because, you know, if they need a lot of food. So if you gave it to them all at once, they might not be able to digest it all at that one time. It might poop some of it out or whatever. But to answer your question, feeding a dog twice a day is fine. But if you have a kennel and you had 100 dogs, you know darn well you're only gonna feed them dogs once a day. So, and it's all about what you're trying to achieve. With my dogs, we're trying to bring their weights up. None of their weight seems to be going up. So I may just feed them once a day and try to stop feeding them so much. Especially in the summertime, you definitely only need to feed once. But maybe in the winter, or if you're working a dog, or if it's pregnant, or if it's a puppy, or if it's a very large dog that requires 10 cups of dog food, yeah, you probably want to break that down. And we're guilty. So I'm giving you advice that I don't even take. Yes, I feed my dogs twice a day. Most of the times they get a morning meal. We break it down though, you know what I'm saying? Supplements, meats, grains, you know, things like that. So let's get to the cost of feeding raw versus feeding dog food. So if you're feeding raw, you got 1 dog, you can get a 40-pound box of chicken for probably about $50. If you have 1 dog, that 40-pound box should last you about a month if you give it 2 or 3 pieces a day. And then you can get the dog a vitamin, a box of vitamins from like Walmart online. Let's say it's $10, but really you can get it for $5. So let's say 50. $60 for that. And then you want to get them some vegetables and some grains. So let's say you get some sweet potatoes. Let's say you get, you get $10 worth of sweet potatoes, $10 worth of vitamins, and $10 worth of carrots and maybe and $10 worth of rice. That's like $40. And then the chicken. I mean, for like $100, you can feed a dog raw, one dog raw for maybe a month and a half or a month. I think, what is his name? Rahul from, what's the dude's name? What's his show called? QBN Kennels. He'll show you exactly how to feed raw for $30 a month or $30 a week or 30 something. He's mapped it all out, man. But you definitely can feed your dog raw for $100 or less a month. I'm not sure if $100 is too much for y'all, or if you just want to spend that $50 on that dog food. But here's the food for thought. You buying that cheap dog food, your dog ain't gonna live long. You buying that cheap dog food, most of the time your dogs are gonna live to about 8-9 years if you feeding cheap dog food like dog chow or Purina Pedigree, you know what I'm saying? And then if you're feeding dog food, your dog will probably higher class dog foods like Blue Buffalo or Victor. Not sure about the Victor. And then also Diamond has Diamond Naturals. Your dog may live 12, 13 years. But also, if you're feeding that cheap dog food, your dog may develop allergies, which is going to cost you trips to the vet, hair loss, medication bill, possibly. Not every dog. Also, if you feed in dog food, even the cheap ones or the other ones, whatever, it's just disease and health of your dog and the youth of your dog. Your dog's going to be a lot healthier, a lot more active if you feed that dog a raw or human food grade diet. So, you might save, let's say you can get that dog food for $30, but then you got a vet bill coming down your way in 7 years for a hip that's going to break, or a foot or a muscle, or the dog go blind. That vet bill come along and it's $5 to $10K. Now, I don't know how to multiply $5 to $10K, but just say you put that other $50 into just feeding your dog something healthy. It's going to eliminate those vet bills. We don't go to the vet around here unless it's rabies shot or some puppies need to go to the vet. My dogs never need to go to the vet. Even if they hurt their leg, they sleep it off, they walk it off, supplement it out. We don't be in the vet for little BS all the time. Not to say that our dogs are better than yours or the diet that I'm feeding. I'm just saying, like, if it ain't broke, don't break it. You know what I'm saying? So feeding that quality food helps the dog a lot. I just challenge y'all, let's take and just get rid of the cheap, crappy dog food. But even, like I say, if you use a small amount, man, it might not be that bad. But then again, I don't know. I mean, I know if I take a pile of beef and give it to my dog, or I take a bowl of Diamond High Energy, my dog gonna have diarrhea off that high energy. And I got some down in the basement right now. But if I give him that beef, he gonna be good. And I want to thank everybody, man, for coming on the live. We had a few questions, man. I get a kind of an understanding of what people feed their dog. You know what I'm saying? One guy feeds Diamond mixed with Victor. One guy feeds leg quarters and puppy chow. This gives you ideas. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all need ideas on what to feed your dog. I mean, definitely the dog food, man, is there for a reason, man. It kills that hunger. So, but I'm challenging everybody. I'm challenging myself to reduce the amount of dog food I'm giving, or at least I'm gonna challenge myself to make my own dog food. I'm still gonna give a little dog food, a half a cup to a cup. I don't think that that's that bad. It's not gonna cause any significant issues. Like I said, because I'm not into buying. I can't give all these supplements and take. I seen the one guy from Foundation Raw with the presses. He did that. I don't have time for all that. I don't have time to be adding all these different vitamins and shit. It feels great when you're doing it. It looks good. But then when you forget, oh, I forgot. Oh, I forget again. Oh, I ran out. So it's like the dog food is there. You boom. But I'm definitely challenging myself, and I challenge y'all to come up with some treats, man. I got a lot of recipes on my channel that y'all can watch and see me that I've made. But what I'm going to start doing is I'm gonna try to reduce the amount of carbohydrate. I'm gonna reduce the grains, and I'm gonna come up with something with more meat. Just because you're trying to stretch that beef, but so far you try to stretch that pork, but for so far you try to stretch that chicken. There's no point, man. You're just gonna end up cleaning it all up in the backyard, man, and dumping it. So. Man, I appreciate y'all. We down to one person in the chat, but I know we're gonna get a lot of views on this. We had a good chat today, man. I was really glad and thankful for all the people that came and joined right in, man. Salute.